I do want to thank you for joining me today. My name is Craig Gomolka. I'm the business recruiter for the graduate programs here at the University of Michigan-Flint. So thank you for joining us for the accounting webinar today. Let's get started by talking about the University of Michigan itself. So 3 campuses within the University of Michigan. We've got our Ann Arbor campus, which is obviously the flagship of the university, Dearborn, and then our Flint campus. Now, when we look at the different accounting programs across all 3 campuses, you'll see different structures to those programs, costs, different admission standards and requirements. But what you will find is no matter what campus you attend, you're going to get that great University of Michigan education and certainly a University of Michigan degree and diploma to hang on your wall. So that's why students love our Flint campus, for that great University of Michigan education and certainly the outstanding costs we provide our students as well. All the business schools at the University of Michigan are accredited by AACSB International. It's the top accrediting body for business schools around the world. And, students always ask, why is that important to me? So from a student's perspective, what's so important about AACSB? First off, it tells you that all of our full-time professors have their PhDs. They're some of the very best professors out there in the whole world. And then those professors do a lot of research and then publications in their field of disciplines. So, whether you're looking at, forensic accounting or cost, systems and controls, they're seeing where trends are today, where trends are headed in the future. And they can have a lot of those great classroom discussions around, what they're researching, what their colleagues at other schools are researching. So you can really talk about, what's upcoming in the world of accounting today. Students love rankings, so I always throw a ranking slide in there about some of the, just some of the rankings that we've achieved, over the last couple of years at the institution. The latest one that we've actually received is for our online bachelor's degree program, ranked #1 online bachelor's of business in the state of Michigan and top 20 in the US. So we're pretty proud of that this year. All right, so let's talk about some of the program goals that you can expect to see in the accounting program. First off, these aren't all the goals that we have. I just kind of picked a few out that I thought students might find more interesting. So the first one is understanding theory and practice of key accounting areas. Obviously, always very important if you're going to be, going into accounting, sitting for the CPA exam. You want to be able to understand and then certainly put into practice a lot of those accounting principles that we're going to be teaching you. Communicating complex and technical issues to individuals with diverse backgrounds. So certainly not everybody's going to have, a CPA or have an accounting degree. So you got to be able to communicate a lot of those technical issues that you're talking about to individuals that don't necessarily have the accounting background that you do. So certainly communication skills are always going to be very important in the accounting program. Developing effective research skills. Certainly, if you're going into the audit area, research is going to be key. And certainly taking the CPA exam as well, too. So we're going to make sure that we've got those skills really preparing you for the CPA exam. And certainly any accounting profession that you may want to go into, whether that's CPA or even corporate accounting as well, too. And then certainly ethics, big part of accounting is certainly ethics. And we make sure that we cover ethics in a lot of our classes within the accounting program. The accounting program is set up into 3 functional areas. We've got our foundation courses, core classes, and then elective areas. So we've got 2 foundation courses. I like the way we set up our accounting program because it doesn't matter what type of background you have, whether it's accounting or non-accounting, business, non-business. Really, these foundation courses are there to make sure that you set that foundation so you can succeed in the core part of the program. Now, if you do have an accounting background, depending upon where you got your degree or equivalent classes that you've taken, you may be able to waive these 2 foundation courses. The first one is accounting for managers. It's a combination of financial and managerial accounting, typically from an undergrad program. And then our corporate financial reporting course is typically an intermediate 1 course, typically from an AACSB accredited business school in accounting. So those are the 2 foundation courses, like I said, can be waived, but for those students that don't have that background, they're there to make sure that you're going to do well in these core classes. And these core classes are really all the competencies you need for the CPA exam. So we got financial reporting, management accounting, 2 tax classes. We've got an individual income tax class and an advanced tax class, which is your corporate tax. Then we move into systems and controls. We've got our auditing class. and then our governmental and nonprofit course. So all courses required for the CPA exam. Then we've got some electives that we have some choices here. So you need 3 classes or 9 credit hours in accounting. One of those classes needs to be from the accounting area. So we've got financial reporting, we've got statement analysis, we've got forensic accounting, and then we just added a new class this fall, which is data analytics and accounting. So you're gonna have 4 choices there. And then you've got 6 other credit hours or 2 classes to choose from. You can either choose to take more accounting electives, or you could choose to take some MBA electives, basically any non-accounting course in our MBA program. All told, you need 9 credit hours of electives, blending the MBA and or the accounting elective courses. So the straight up accounting program is 30 to 36 credit hours, again, depending upon those 2 foundation courses that you may waive. So anywhere between 10 to 12 courses. So now let's look at the dual program, because I know you guys are looking at the dual program as well too. Set up very similarly. So we've got foundation courses, and then we've got core classes. What we did with the dual program is we really eliminated the electives, so students don't need electives in the dual program. So we've got 4 foundation courses. The first 2 will look similar because of the exact same ones from the MSA program. And then we add in 3 MBA foundation courses. We've got business economics, which can be waived with a combination of macro and micro econ. We've got organizational behavior, which can be waived with an OB class. And then our most difficult class to waive is going to be our applied quantitative analytics course, basically. So it's a combination of stats, which a lot of students have, but there's also a management science component that deals with, supply chain. So that is our most difficult class to waive. So there's 5 foundation courses in the dual program. Then we move into the core area, and you can see the first 7 are going to be your core accounting courses, and then the last 8 are going to be MBA courses. So we've got our finance course. Global Dimensions is our international business course. We've got a course in management information systems, which deals a lot with e-commerce. We have marketing. Non-market strategy is a course that deals with law and ethics and policy, all of those factors that really affect your organization from the external environment. By far and away, I think our students' favorite course in the entire MBA program is always our negotiation course. This course is great because we blend personal and professional negotiations together. Students get to start off with one-on-one negotiations. Maybe they go to 2-on-2, and then they really build into multi-party negotiations. Dealing with let's say vice presidents in a boardroom trying to negotiate for their departments, yet trying to make sure that the organization as a whole is well taken care of. So we get into a lot of those scenarios. The personal stuff that we do is, car buying scenarios, maybe negotiating salary, dealing with homeowners associations, things like those. So students really get a lot out of it because it does blend both those personal and professional negotiations together. We've got our capstone class in the MBA program. Where the accounting program doesn't have a capstone, we do have one in the MBA program where it combines everything that you've learned from the foundation and the core area into our strategy course, which again takes everything that you've learned. It kind of shows how you can really apply everything that you've done within the MBA program from a strategic perspective. And then last course on this list is going to be our operations and supply chain management course. What I really like about this dual degree is we cover the organization from top to bottom. We cover, obviously the accounting area, which is, your specialization, but, you get finance, you get international, you get policy and ethics in here, you get negotiations, you get a strategy perspective. So everything, again, from the organization, from top to bottom, you'll be able to understand, and basically a generalist term. So you're covering a lot of different areas within the organization, and then adding, the accounting degree, which is going to be your specialization. So you have a specialist degree, and then the more generalist degree, which is the MBA program. So it's a really good pairing for students for a lot of different reasons. But the program ranges anywhere from 45 to 60 credits. So again, if we look at those foundation courses, if you're able to waive all of them, you can do it for 45 credits or 15 classes. If you don't waive any of them, you're looking at 60 credits or 20 courses for the dual degree. A couple of different requirements here between the CPA test and then CPA licensing. So first off, for the test, you do need a bachelor's degree. Could be any bachelor's degree, but you do need your bachelor's degree. Then you're required to take 3 semester hours of auditing, and then 21 semester hours of basically the next 5 bullets: financial accounting, managerial costs, systems and controls, your income tax, and then your governmental, nonprofit, and funds course. Obviously, which I kind of said were all built into that core part of the MSA program. The last little bullet I've got here kind of gets tricky for some students depending upon their background. 24 semester hours of general business subjects. These are business non-accounting subjects. For students that want to pursue the MSA but also want to sit for the CPA exam, and they do not come from a business or accounting background, let's say, history, sociology, engineering, and they don't have any general business subjects, this is where the dual degree really comes into play, because we're able to get all 24 of those general business subjects built right into the program with the dual degree. If you've got the, business degree or an accounting degree, you've probably got this area covered. It's really just getting, the necessary requirements to sit for the exam. So that's the exam. Once you've got the exam taken care of, you can look at the licensing. Passing the exam is going to be the first requirement. Then you need an experience exam, or experience in public accounting. So basically that is about 1 year. So basically 2,000 hours of work experience working in public accounting. And then the education requirement. Obviously, you guys are here for the MSA degree, so the MSA is going to be part of that education requirement. So once you're done with your education, pass the exam, it's really about accruing that 2,000 hours or 1 year of public experience to actually be licensed to practice as a public accountant in the state of Michigan. The whole MSA program is online. The MBA is online as well too, and we'll kind of talk in more detail on the next slide, but both degrees can be done 100% online if a student's interested. Schedules. So typically we see 2 types of schedules for our students in the accounting program. Either a part-time schedule, which typically means, they'll do 2 classes in the fall, 2 classes in the winter, they'll do 1 spring, they'll do 1 summer, and then they'll do that over again, basically 2 years, and they complete the MSA degree. Schedule for full-time students, so 3 fall, 3 winter, 2 spring, 2 summer, then they do 3 fall again, and then they'll complete that MSA degree. And that's for the full 12 courses in the MSA program. Completion time, typically anywhere from 16 to 24 months, 5 to 8 semesters. Again, depending upon, waiving foundation courses and all of that, certainly completion time can vary, but on average, that's typically what we'll see students do in the program. And students do have 5 years to actually complete the accounting program. We follow the university traditional calendar, which means fall and winter are 15 weeks long. And then our spring and summer semesters are the accelerated semesters, so 7 weeks. So May and half of June will be our spring semester, and then July and half of August will be our summer semester. In the accounting program, I'll back up here for a sec. We do have 2 classes that are offered in spring only, so you will at least have to take a spring class. The first one is going to be our ACC 565, Accounting Systems and Controls. That is a spring class. And then our one above it, our 555, a corporate tax course. That is going to be a spring class as well too. So we've got 2 spring classes that students must take, and those are the semesters that they are offered in. Different course formats. I mentioned the whole program could be done online, as well as our MBA. So you can do those completely online, asynchronous, which basically means you're kind of going at your own pace as long as you're meeting the deadlines for tests and assignments and all your due dates. You can kind of, work at your own pace and kind of study when you want to, whether it's 3 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. It's kind of really up to you. In the MBA program, we also offer online synchronous courses, which means there'll be certain times of the week where you have to be online to basically be with your class, give you, lectures from professors, group discussions, those type of things. And you register for one of those courses. Obviously, all those dates are certainly laid out for you, whether that's a Tuesday evening, at 7 p.m., or if it's certainly a different time. And typically, you're going to find that the MBA ones are going to be evening courses, because most of our professionals are working during that time in this program. So we want to make sure that the online synchronous times kind of really work for everybody. And then we utilize Blackboard and Canvas for our online courses here at the University of Michigan-Flint. Dual degrees. So with the MBA program, we offer a few more options for our students in terms of taking classes. So we do offer evening classes. We'll be starting those back up in the summertime this upcoming year. We'll have one evening class, and then certainly in the fall and the winter, we'll have a few of those evening classes for our students to choose from in the MBA program as they move through. We do offer a hybrid format, which we call Net Plus. It's basically 60% asynchronous and then 40% synchronous. And what that does for us is it gives students a flexibility to be asynchronous most of the time. But then on 4 days, we have students online at specific times. Those can either be 4 Saturdays, like they're going to be this winter, or in the spring, we're going to go back to our 2 Fridays and Saturdays, depending upon, what we find. Basically, we're kind of checking out what days work best for students. So we're kind of figuring out whether it's Saturdays or 2 Fridays and Saturdays back to back that are going to work better for our students. And again, everything's going to be laid out in our course schedule, so you know exactly what times of day those are going to be for our students. But the Net Plus format will have both the asynchronous and then the synchronous online sessions for our students. And then the other format that we have in the MBA program is going to be called a HyperFlex format, which is going to give students really the ability to be on campus or online from week to week. So if you want to come to campus for a week and then you want to do your class, so let's say synchronously or asynchronously the very next week and switch back and forth, you're going to be able to do that. So it's going to be a pretty flexible format for our students, and hopefully flexible in terms of the ability to come to campus when you want. Or, let's say in the wintertime, if it snows or something, you just want to stay home, you can do that as well too. And then we've got a course rotation for our students. The course rotation pretty much lays out all of our programs in our graduate program, what formats they're offered in, what semesters they're offered in, kind of help for planning. And if students, want to utilize that, that's great. Of course, we do have a great graduate advisor that kind of helps all of our students plan their courses out. I'm always assisting her, so I help students plan their courses as well too. So if you've got questions or if you want to mix up your course schedule and you want to kind of see how it lays out, we work with our students to make sure that we fit all of their courses into kind of what they're looking for in terms of a plan. I did mention online coursework for the accounting program. Certainly we utilize Blackboard and Canvas. And if you've taken an online class, these will seem like pretty simple concepts to you, but certainly all of your class assignments and syllabi will be posted to Blackboard or Canvas. Your deadlines will be in there. Certainly meeting rooms for team projects. Tests will be typically timed. We've got a couple in the MBA program that don't give time tests. They're essay tests, but typically in the accounting programs, they're time tests, and professors will open them up and give you anywhere from 3 to 7 days to take a test. So let's say, a Friday to Sunday or a Monday to Sunday to complete that test. And then we have threaded discussions for our students. Other coursework that you'll see, independent readings, supplemental materials, case studies. I mentioned the team projects. I would say, maybe 60% of your accounting program will probably have a team project. I would say nearly 100% of the MBA courses have team projects associated with them. Different essays and analysis papers you'll be doing, homework, like I would say accounting lends itself to kind of homework sets, so does statistics. And then certainly, you've got your audio casts, you got your podcasts, all the things that you can certainly utilize in the online format as well too. And then students always ask, what type of time commitment do I have to have for our programs? And I would say that for every class that you take in our programs, you're probably going to put in about 7 to 9 hours of work per week. So one class is not too bad, 7 to 9. 2 classes, 15 to 18 hours. 3 classes really could range, 21 to 27 hours of coursework, homework sets, readings, kind of going through your group projects, those type of things. So, anywhere from 1 to 3 courses is typically what our students will take. Most students that are doing the program part-time, like I said, 2 classes, full-time, not working, or maybe working part-time, they'll pursue 3 classes per semester. Tuition this year, $833.25 per credit hour. There is a registration fee of $227 per semester, that no matter if you take 1 class or 3 classes, the registration assessment is always the same. And then we've got the overall program costs here. So you can see the program cost for the MSA program ranges from $25,000 to $30,000, depending upon those 2 foundation courses. And then for the dual degree, really looking at about $37,000 to about $50,000 for the dual degree. So when you take into consideration, you're getting 2 master's degrees from the University of Michigan, and the most it's going to cost you is really about $50,000. It's really not a bad tuition price for 2 master's degrees. So I always encourage students, if you're contemplating looking at a dual degree, I don't think you can ever go wrong pursuing a dual degree. A lot of students see the benefits after they graduate. Let's say they get into accounting, they go through that. And then once they leave public accounting, let's say they go into the corporate world, that's typically where that MBA will play a big factor, certainly in promotions, advancements within your organization. Scholarships, always important for students. We do have a GMAT scholarship. We also have a waiver, which I'll talk about in a few slides. But if you score 600 or better on the GMAT, we will give you a $2,500 scholarship. We've got our Distinguished Graduate Scholarship, which is a $3,000 award. We do have an Alumni Scholarship, which is $5,000 from any U of M campus. And then certainly the university has got lots of scholarships as well too that students apply for anywhere between December, I would say mid-December, up until the final deadline of June 1 for new students. And you do have to be enrolled at least half-time. So that's why most of our students will take 6 credit hours or 2 classes, because they want to make sure they're eligible not only for scholarships, but for financial aid in general. Application. So we've got a graduate application online at our graduate website. For students interested in a dual degree, I do have a supplemental dual degree application that they have to fill out. So just let me know if you're interested in that, and I can certainly email that to you. It's a simple 2-page PDF to add that second degree. There's a $55 application fee, and we do have a fee waiver because you guys attended the webinar today. And that fee waiver will be good for a couple weeks. So basically, you'll go through the application, then put in the fee waiver, and then you won't have to pay that $55. Official transcripts. We do need all official transcripts from any school that you attended. So if you graduated from one school, but you transferred in a few credits, we still need both transcripts. Even if you took one class at a community college, we still want to make sure we get that transcript for our graduate office. We need your resume updated, all your work and education experience on there. We do require a 1-page statement of purpose. So why do you want the MSA degree? How will it help your career? Or if you're looking at the dual degree, why will the dual MBA and accounting degree, help your career as well too? So, 1 to 2 pages, nothing too complicated there. This is your essay question. So if there's anything that will affect our admission decision, some students maybe didn't do as well as they would like in terms of their undergrad program. Certainly, this is a great place to kind of say, okay, what happened? Why will a graduate degree do better? So those are the things that we look at in your essay as well too, if you want to put anything extra in there. 2 letters of recommendation. We've got a great online form for students. They're more than welcome to submit, official letters of recommendation. If your recommenders want to write out a formal letter, they're more than welcome to. But the online form is pretty easy. Within the online form, all you have to do is put in the name, the email, and then the title of your 2 recommenders. Once you actually put the fee waiver in and then hit the submit button, the next day our graduate office will email your recommenders, send them out a nice link. They answer 6 questions about you and submit it, and they're done. So pretty easy for you and pretty easy for your recommenders. I mentioned the GMAT and GRE, which we do require, and we do have GMAT waivers, which I'll talk about on the next slide. Any international students do have to meet English proficiency. And then the applications are good for a whole year. So if you want to submit it piece by piece and a little bit at a time, you're more than welcome to. We won't actually review your application until it is fully completed. And then we've got our deadlines below here. So our next semester upcoming is going to be our winter semester, which will start January 5th. And the deadline, we still have a few days away, so November 15. So at least if you submit your application by November 15, we're going to give you a week after that, I believe, till the 22nd to get all of your documents submitted as well too. Then we do have our spring semester, our summer semester, and then we'll come back around for fall semester. I think this is my last slide. So this is our GMAT waiver policy. We know the GMAT is really a super fun test for students to take. So we do offer waivers for that. So when we're looking at how students are granted waivers, we're pretty much looking at the 4 bullets right in the middle here. So a student that has a graduate degree from basically a regionally accredited institution in the US, which is most institutions, as soon as you have a graduate degree, we're going to be able to waive that GMAT for you. Now, when we look at just undergrad degree holders, if you've attended an AACSB accredited business school, you have to have a 3.0 or higher from your undergrad program. If it's just a regionally accredited institution, again, which is most institutions in the US, 3.2 or higher, or if you have a 2.75 with 3 years of professional work experience or military experience, we can grant a GMAT waiver as well too. If you don't meet any of those, we could certainly look at external certifications, or if you'd been admitted to one of our dual doctorate programs or our PA program, which is a master's program, we'll be able to grant a GMAT waiver based on those admittance to those programs. And all you have to do to request a GMAT waiver is just email me, just let me know your name, confirm that you have submitted your application, what program you applied for, what semester you're interested in applying for, and then make sure you include your transcripts and your resume so I can review if I need to review for the professional work experience, or I can certainly verify the GPA from your grad or undergrad program. And then as long as you meet those requirements, I can grant a GMAT waiver. And since you've submitted the application, I can just check that box and we'll have completed that section of the application itself. And that is our presentation today. Hopefully I've covered everything that you guys wanted to know, but certainly if I didn't, what questions do you guys have for me right now?